as we're inside Hallis Hall on your home for the Bears. Jeff Joniak with your home call right here on ESPN 1000. And it is our pleasure to welcome in your quarterback of the Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams, with us on Waddle and Silvy. Caleb, it is great to see you again.
Yeah, same here. Same here. Thanks for having me.
All right, so you've done a lot of conversations. You've had a lot of interviews with everybody and all the different shows.
Yep.
Do you remember the weirdo going back to the combine as you were walking through the big convention center?
Were you in a red shirt?
Was I in the red shirt?
Were you in a red shirt?
I was. So what do you remember about that day? I wanted to take you down a whole road, but you remember this.
I remember it. I was with a couple of people, and I don't necessarily, we were in like the convention area and stuff like that, just walking the hallways, and then just saw you pop through and pop up and wanted to introduce yourself.
And I thought I made the mistake. Now we were talking. This was the bonehead.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, see, you forgot about the
I was already gone at that point. I didn't want any part of the nonsense that he was trying to get going.
So Waddle used to play for the Bears.
Yeah.
And so, he's been around the block a little bit. He's not waiting out a player. I'm waiting out the player.
I wasn't waiting out you to be the fool that you were going to be at that point.
And so Waddle's going to the bathroom, and I'm waiting you out, and I'm like, what's my in with Caleb?
Yeah.
And should I go to Caleb? Should I go to Carl? I've read so much about Carl.
Yeah.
And someone told me that's Carl with Caleb.
Yeah.
And so I go up and I introduce myself
and
to
it was
the guy from USC.
Yeah,
your guy
from my friend. He was like a coach, but like a friend or a player development guy. And it was he took it and carried as far as he could before he said he wasn't my dad, but he's a big jokester, which is always fun.
But you handled that well. Like I thought for sure this guy's going to call me out.
No.
And that's when I knew. I said, like, a lot of the stuff that you hear about him, that this guy's genuine and this guy cares about relationships.
Yep. Yeah, I think it was an honest mistake. It was funny because there was my dad was in town, but he wasn't, walking around with me for most of the part. And Gavin is his name. He was walking around a lot with me. We were laughing, joking. We had a bunch of players there for the combine, so he was always, kind of hanging out with me because I didn't really do much at the combine, as we know. But so, and it seemed like an honest mistake, so we let it ride.
So I tried to ask you that day about Chicago, and you did that thing with ESPN. There was a lot of talk about how you would view Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
What was your perception then, not knowing much about the city, the fan base, the team, and how different is it today?
Yeah, I mean, I would say my knowledge is a lot different. But I would say I didn't have a huge expectation, or I didn't really set those expectations because I just didn't know. I'm not one to really set expectations on something that I don't really have much knowledge of. But since I've been here, I do know that they've been tremendous, showing up and showing out, whether it was at the draft, whether it was, for the preseason games, whether it's for practice, when the open practices happen and things like that. So, it's been great. People have been loving and caring about, Chicago Bears.
What have you found to be the biggest adjustment you've had to make going from the collegiate game to the NFL?
Yeah, I think the biggest adjustment is just the 15 to 20 word plays.
Yeah.
I think obviously, I was in a system where I handled a lot of communication. I handled all the communication. It was just a different system of doing it. It was hand signals and then talking to the offensive line, talking to the back, and hand signals to the wide receivers. This time we're in a huddle. So if hand signals could translate to the words, I don't think it'd be far off, but actually having to say 15 word plays or 12 word plays and 20 word plays and things like that, with alerts and having, the reasons on why we're alerting and all of that. And then also the checks and also all the protections. I think the biggest thing was definitely the words in the huddle.
And kind of building on that, your approach at USC, you were kind of forced to do everything. You had to be Superman. Here you've got an excellent defense and you've got a huddle filled with offensive weapons.
Yes.
Does that change kind of your own approach to how to play the position?
Yeah, I think every year there's always a constant, moment that you have to adapt and you realize what team you have. And so, this year I've been adapting and changing my game. My mindset has been first down, second down, keep us ahead of the chains. And then third down and things like that. If it's needed, is time for the X factor,
Yeah.
thing to come out. And then, in the games and moments like that, it's time to, play within it. And then when, things break loose, just be smart, get down, get out of bounds, or throw a touchdown completion, things like that. But understanding the team that I have, it's my ability to be able to adapt to our play and do it at a high level, a year in and year out.
Caleb Williams joining us, Waddle and Silvy on ESPN 1000. What's fascinating about the process is that the Bears had a really good plan for you, for the way they were going to do this. Waddle and I talk about how they installed the offense with you before you were even drafted. Mm-hmm. When did this conclusion happen? And whose idea was that to start installing the offense? And what was your reaction?
Yeah, it was cool for me. I was still on the edge because they weren't installing, like the actual offense. They were giving me the basis of the offense. And I thought they were just trying to see if I could retain stuff, see if I could remember and things like that, just because, they were still in the process of trying to pick me. So I was still in the mindset of like, I'm still possibly in my head. I knew I was number one, but I was still in the mindset of like, okay, maybe they're trying to go other places, trying to do this with all the other QBs. And so, I was being a little cautious with it, but I was, trying my best to, make sure I could remember it all, make sure we were in communication every once in a while, and things like that.
And when did they tell you that you were the guy?
They didn't tell me until about 5 minutes into the first pick.
Wow. Really? So you had no?
I didn't know. Yeah, I in my head I was very sure, but
is it still surreal to hear the commissioner of the NFL announce your name?
It's sick.
I mean, I know we're several months beyond that, but
yeah.
Still.
I mean, it's really a once in a lifetime opportunity that you get. There's not many times where, in people's lives that you get to have this moment of being the first pick, having the commissioner go up there and call your name as the first pick, and you get to walk on stage.
And with that in mind, do you feel any pressure to be really good really soon?
No, I don't feel any pressure to be really good any soon. I think my mindset is to be really good really soon, but I have to do the things obviously to put myself in that position. I have to be a great teammate. I have to show up. I have to work. I have to learn all the stuff. I have to, protections and all the calls and, all of it, to be able to put myself in positions that I, plan on being in, and want to be in. So I think a lot of hard work comes from it, but, I don't put, expectations or as people say, pressure on myself.
As we knew that you were going to be the Bears quarterback. So we were reading a lot about you. We were trying to figure out what makes Caleb Williams tick. And one of the stories that we read or that you told was that you lived alone at times in high school.
Yeah,
we're fascinated by this. Okay.
Yeah,
because like I could barely live alone in college.
Yeah.
So what's that like? Take us through that. You want to get closer to high school, and your parents get you this apartment.
Yep.
And you're living alone now.
Yep.
How are you able to function as a high school kid living alone?
Yeah, so I mean, my parents were around often. They've never missed a game. They've been tremendous. But the drive in the morning into DC is a hefty drive. And so we got an apartment, and I went from there, and I started basically college earlier than 4 years earlier than people did when they actually went to college is how I like to, I guess, describe it. And so I got to be able to experience a lot of different things, a lot of different moments, and grow from those. We grew from those moments, got better. Whether it was my teammates, coming over, hanging out, whether it was, the parents saying that, they're my teammates' friend or parents saying that their kids are at my place.
Well, your place had to be the place to be. Remaining back to high school,
yeah. It honestly was, and it was a blast. We had a blast. It was an awesome high school experience, but it I had dreams and aspirations that I set for myself at a young age. So there wasn't, I would say, any worry, through my parents' eyes, that anything was going to happen, with me being there by myself.
So never any like rebel in you, like even
No,
though
I've never been a troublemaker. It's never been my my thing, my niche, or whatever you want to call it. I've never been.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned teammates. I'm really interested. I love your receiving room. With a background in receiving, if I say to you, define your top three guys. When I say DJ Moore, what do you say?
Explosive, strong, and unbelievable.
How about Keenan Allen?
He's very, very elusive, very smooth, and very technical.
And Rome.
Rome is smooth. He glides. He glides on the ground, so he's a glider. He's smooth. He glides, and very. I don't know how to describe it, but he's very for being how tall he is and things like that. He's able to break down and make these cuts that you wouldn't.
No wasted motion.
Yeah, no wasted motion. So I got a good group of guys
and rookie quarterback friendly. All of these guys are great assets for you.
Great
in your
assets.
First year.
They're great communicators of maybe how they'll run stuff or how I think they should have, or us just being on the same page. They're great communicators.
Somebody asked a question on our morning show. I thought this was really interesting. Your first touchdown pass hypothetically goes to Rome.
He gets the ball.
He gets the ball. Okay.
Yeah, I would give Rome the pass, but when
Yeah.
that happens here soon, we'll make sure Rome takes that ball home, and I'll hold it for myself and then give it to him, so that he doesn't give it to anybody else and put it in the bag.
I love too, and I covered Michael. So my career started covering the last three championships as a reporter, 96, awesome. 97, 98.
Yep.
And the thing that fueled him is similar to what fuels you. You like to write down stuff when someone disses you.
Yep.
Or I read when you said you'll send something to Rome,
yep.
where someone, when we were reading about you, that and a lot of it was all fake stuff.
Yeah.
What bothered you the most?
I would say the stuff where people were attacking my personality for things that wasn't true. I think that bothered me because, all my guys, all the people that I'm around, how I've, grown up with my family and my dad and mom. My mom's super caring, so I grew up in a very caring household. My dad, he cares for people, that he'll help them out any way that he can. So, growing up in that type of household, it's like I care for all my people that I actually love and care for, and that I sacrifice days, time, effort, energy, and all of that. Like here with the Bears, I care for my teammates. We go out and hang out, we do things, we do fun things and things like that. So when they're attacking, my character and personality for stupid stuff that would pop up, and people would try and take it and run with it. It bothered me some. So I would screenshot some of those, or, when people talk about how I play and, things like that, I would screenshot some of those. And just add it to the motivation.
Have you read the Keenan Allen is overweight thing that people have called? So you've seen that?
Then. I've seen it. Yeah, it's hard to miss things on social media. So, and we're all on it. So it pops up every once in a while and things like that. And I'll add it to the not interested list when it pops up. Just to keep the negativity out of the mind, because it's most important.
Do you think that Hard Knocks has represented you authentically? Do you like how they've presented you and your teammates and your team?
Yeah, I would say Hard Knocks done a good job. Whether it's from protecting us and making sure that it comes out in a nice light. Whether it's it can still be something negative and comes out in the light of somebody working hard, working towards something. Trying to grind and get to the point of when we get to the season that, those mistakes, those things don't happen. And so Hard Knocks done a good job, whether it's good or bad, of like the play or what was said. It's, they've done a good job.
Have they been a distraction at all, or have they just kind of?
No, they've actually haven't been a distraction. Sometimes, we have to say, hold up, don't just put the cameras down, but not a distraction in a way where they're, in the way. People are trying to get in front of the cameras or, say things to the camera or things like that. They've done a good job.
What does Caleb Williams do to escape from football? We first of all, 2-part question. We heard the story that at one time your coach had to say, stop texting me. You got to put the playbook down because it was like at midnight or 1 a.m. A, is that true? And B, have you found ways to escape, and what do you do?
I don't think the text was true, but I have been told before in my life to just take some little bit of time off. It doesn't have to be a 2, 3, 4 day break, but it's maybe take this next 24 hours or 12-hour period and just have it to yourself. And then what was the second part to that?
What do you do to escape? What do you do to have fun?
I do normal human activities. I go out, hang out with my teammates at dinner.
Parking. Saw a picture of you parking, miniature golf.
Yes, I was gonna say miniature.
Yeah.
I go do things like that. Miniature golf. I go and bowl. I go and I have things that I enjoy, hobbies that I enjoy that are I enjoy actually. My dad's in real estate, so I've grown up in it, so I enjoy looking at houses, land. I enjoy architecture. I enjoy a lot of that. In my free time, it takes up that time. I enjoy video games. I enjoy driving. I enjoy all these other things, and so those things in my free time take up time. But nothing. I don't love nothing enough. Like I love football to be able to get up and do it at 5 a.m. 6 a.m.
That's what we love to hear. As we let you go, as you run out of that tunnel.
Yep.
Opening day.
Yep.
Tennessee Titans, your first game.
Yep.
They introduce you.
Yep.
Close your eyes and kind of visualize. What do you see?
Yeah, I see the I don't know. Do we do flames here? I don't know.
Yes, we do have some flames coming out.
We never did flames back in the day.
We do flames, but I think the flames can get bigger as you put up more numbers. Yeah,
the flames and the mist or whatever it is, the smoke. And I would say the stadium's just rocking. It's just booming. And we go out there and we go have fun. And we take home the win. I think that's the most important thing.
We're happy you're here.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for reconnecting.
Thank you.